Good afternoon, all of you. Myself, Professor Sanjeeva Narain Singh from IIMT College of Engineering, Greater Noida, in Delhi, NCR. Just in continuation to my previous lecture on construction project management, which I had delivered earlier, I have come up with a very important lecture on construction safety management. So this is safety management on construction site is a very important aspect which generally people try to know. Many accidents and hazards have ruined the lives of not only the workers but also the company. It has many site accidents have led the company to be blacklisted, losing the business forever. So construction site safety management is a very important aspect whenever we think about a construction project. So whenever we talk about construction site construction safety management, as the first slide is self-explanatory. Basically, what is construction safety management? So construction safety management, as the slide it has been already described, that construction work is an often hazardous, predominantly land-based activity where site workers are exposed to various risks. In the background of this slide, there is a helmet, there is a safety boot, there is goggles, there is gloves, and safety belt. So these are the personal protective equipment that a worker uses at construction site. So we begin with this construction safety management lecture with a slogan: don't learn safety from an accident. This is a very dangerous trend that we learn safety only after an accident has happened. So why don't we learn the safety rules before an accident has happened, and we take the preventive measures so that an accident never happens on a construction site? So now moving on to the next slide. This construction safety management is a very important aspect in construction project. And moving on to the next slide. This is a slide where I have, it is my personal experience that I share with all of you. This is the slide of an international airport project in Oman. So this is a Salalah International Airport project in the background where I was working in the year 2012. Beside me is another construction manager who is currently working on a bullet train project in Mumbai. And myself, I'm as a teaching, I'm as a faculty in IIMT College of Engineering, teaching the. So basically, construction safety management, it is very important that construction safety management, a method to implement. It is a method to implement safety rules and regulation in order to ensure safe working environment. So construction safety management is a method. When we come to define construction safety management, it is a method to implement safety rules and regulation in order to ensure a safe working environment. So we begin with, we have another slogan, that is, work safely. You may not get a second chance if you ignore safety. So if you ignore safety rules of construction site and an accident happens and you die, you will never get a second chance for whatever blunder that you have committed. So safety management is very important aspect where we should strictly follow the safety rules. Now coming to the next slide, need of safety in construction. Why do we need safety in construction? Construction site safety is an aspect of implementing construction safety rules and guidelines with the aim of protecting construction site workers and others from death, injury, diseases, or other health related risks. So this is where we need construction safety management here and construction site. So proceeding ahead, now components of safety management, components of construction safety management. In the background, you see how the workers are working in a hazardous manner. They are wearing a safety belt. They are wearing a PPE. They are wearing helmet. They are having all the safety gadgets with them, and they are working very safely and carefully on construction site, because construction site is just a place where accidents may happen anytime if you ignore the safety rules. So what are the components of safety management? That to begin with, the components of safety management to begin with on a construction project, the first thing that we do is that we prepare a safety management plan. That depends on the project that we are handling. The project, if we are handling a building construction project where workers have to work at a height and they will fall down, or they may get injured by a falling object. So in the safety management plan, we include all these aspects, and we identify the hazards that may happen in the due course of construction work. So safety management plan, very first thing that we do in safety management is to prepare the safety management plan depending on the type of project that we are handling. If it is an excavation project where deep excavations has to be undertaken, we have to include in our safety management plan how we are going to excavate the site, how we are going to make the deep excavation safe. It is done by stepping excavation. We do not excavate directly, but we excavate in a stepping manner. So that for typical construction site, the safety management plan is different for different construction type of construction project. Now next is toolbox talk. Toolbox talk. What is toolbox talk? A toolbox talk is a set of instructions on a specific site safety issue given to the members of a construction workforce. So the construction workforce, whichever work they are going to handle, whichever work that they are going to do, they are specifically, given instruction just before they begin the work. It is toolbox talk is not done long back, but in the morning, the very morning when they are going to begin their work, just before beginning the work, this toolbox talk is this toolbox talk is being delivered by the safety officer of the construction project. So in the toolbox talk, suppose they have to do some electric welding work. So in the toolbox talk for the electric welding work, they will be given the instruction that they should be very careful about the cuts in the wire and the joints from where the current may flow and they may get electrocuted. So this is the kind of toolbox talk in whatever job, whatever particular activity that a construction worker is going to handle. They are given the toolbox talk. They are being educated at the last moment that these are the safety instructions, safety rules that they have to follow. So to prevent accidents. So second component of the safety management is toolbox talk. So the first component, as I have already told you, is the safety management plan. The second component of safety management is toolbox talk. The third component of safety management is safety policy. Safety policy means we have a particular policy for a construction project site that any worker who is entering the site will be fully equipped with personal protective equipment. If any site worker is not having personal protective equipment, he should not be allowed into the site. So some of the policies is strictly implemented. So there is a policy and the norms by which we follow on construction site to ensure that there is no accident and the worker who is working on the construction site is safe from all points of view. So safety policy and objectives. The objectives are to implement the safety rules, because there are many workers who ignore the safety rules. There are many contractors and subcontractors who do not follow the safety rules because they consume time, they delay their work, they are involved in cost. but this is in the long run very, very important so as to prevent accidents on construction site. And specifically on international projects, if your project incurs some accidents, then you are blacklisted, it is taken very seriously, you are thrown out of the project. So you have to ensure site safety construction rules for your work progress. So safety construction is more important than anything. So the next component of, I think the fourth component of safety to construction safety management is safety risk management. Safety risk management, whatever work that we are going to undertake in future, suppose we are excavating deep foundation, and as we excavate the deep foundation, there are chances that water may incur in the pit. So if the water may incur in the pit, what are the risks of delay in the construction? So at the same time that we are excavating, we have to make arrangements for dewatering of the pit. So we have to take the risk, or we have to reduce the depth of the foundation. So that depends on safety risk. What are the type of risks that we are taking? So these risks in safety management has to be identified. Whatever hazard, whatever risk that a construction activity is having, that risk needs to be identified, the hazard needs to be identified, and suitable measures need to be taken so as to prevent any untoward accident or any other accident, any untoward accident that may happen on the site. So safety risks and hazards need to be identified on construction site. Now the next component of safety management, that is safety assurance. So whoever are working on the construction site, and especially the construction manager and the contractor and the senior people, they have to give an assurance to everybody, not only to the top management, but to the workers also, that whatever work they are doing, that they have to give an assurance that it is a safe work and they will be safe and they will not be injured. And that is why they have to wear the personal protective equipment, follow the functional safety rules for prevention of accidents on site. Safety promotion. Safety promotion means we have to be alert. We have to promote safety from all angles of construction site. In order to promote safety, we celebrate safety month. We celebrate safety month. We organize different competitions on construction site. Where housekeeping also comes in safety management. So these are the ways by which we promote safety. To promote safety, we organize competitions, we organize some quizzes, we organize some activity on the construction site where it helps the workers and everybody to learn safety measures and be alert on construction site. So the next component, with this we have completed most of the components, almost all the components of safety management on construction site. So we're moving to the next slide, and that is core elements of a successful safety management. So what are the core elements of a successful safety management? That the first first core element is safety awareness. Safety awareness on a construction site, all the workers, including top management and whoever are working as a construction manager, as a project manager, as a supervisor, as an engineer, they should be, everybody, all should be aware of the safety rules and regulations of the work that they are undertaking. In the background of this slide is a construction site of Salalah Airport project in Oman, where a deep excavation has happened, and see the barricades that have been undertaken with safety tapes, and there are signboards written on that deep excavation so that anybody is aware that there is a deep pit and we have to be careful in this area. So safety awareness is also reflected in the background of actual photo of Salalah Airport project, Salalah Airport project, where Myself, Sanjeeva Narain Singh, was working as a construction manager for Larsen & Toubro, from the Larsen & Toubro company in Salon. So next element of successful safety management is safety culture. Safety is not a one-time issue. Safety is not a one-time issue that one time you follow it and then you forget it. Safety culture has to be introduced on construction site. There should be a culture of safety that should be introduced on construction site, and anybody avoiding, anybody ignoring safety rules should be either be warned, given a warning, then next they should be fined and they should be punished and they should be thrown out of the site if they do not follow or every time they ignore the safety. So safety culture needs to be followed on construction site, and that is very, very important. Safety culture is a self-explanatory word, and you are already aware that any activity or anything that has happened, it has to follow strictly the safety rules and regulations. And a culture has to be exhibited, has to be, inculcated into the working of the people, on the construction site. So next element of successful safety management is employee training on safety rules and empowerment. So employee means whoever is working on a construction site, they should be regularly trained on the activities which they are handling regarding the safety rules and environment. They should be given mock drill. So mock drill is also one of the aspects by which employees can be trained on safety rules, and they should be empowered. They should be empowered to take decisions to prevent accidents. It's not that if any accident is going to happen, you have to take permission from project manager or from top management. That will take time. By the time they take permission, the accident will also happen. So the employees should be empowered to take the decision on their own to maintain safety on construction site to prevent accidents. So employee training on safety rules and empowerment is one of the core elements of successful safety management. Next is, as I have already described in the previous slides, the hazard identification and control system. So any activity that is to be undertaken, all the hazard, the risk, the danger that is going to happen on the activity needs to be identified, and preventive measures and protective measures need to be undertaken to prevent the accident in case of any activity that is to happen on construction site. So hazard identification and control system, how to control that hazard, how to control that dangerous aspect of the activity to ensure a safe construction, to ensure a safe construction on the construction site. So hazard identification and control system is very, very important on construction site to be implemented. So next is focus on compliance. So whatever rules and regulations that is framed on the site safety plan, that needs to be implemented, and that should be focused that all the safety rules are complied with. So focus on compliance is also very, very important on construction site, and you need to, especially the top management, especially the project manager, and especially the construction manager, need to ensure that all the site safety rules as per the construction safety plan are being followed, and everybody is complying to the safety rules. So next core element of successful safety management is continuous improvement. So see, whatever measures that we are taking, all rules and regulations, everything we are following, there may be a certain unaware situation. I mean, maybe something which we are not aware, or something surprising happens. On construction site, there are chances that some surprise may happen, and some accident may happen, of which people were never thinking. So that is continuous improvement. So from the past experience, we should learn from previous construction sites that these are the hazards that are to occur on this for this activity, and that needs to be identified. And continuously, we need to improve our work culture. Continuously, we need to improve on safety aspect of successful safety management. We should not be uh, we should not be very much sure that okay, now we have followed the site safety rules, we have followed the safety culture and everything is okay. We need not improve also. There are chances of improvement, so that whatever is lacking or whatever is not there on construction site, that needs to be improved. There are not, for example, the vehicle. Let us take the example of our construction safety equipment like crane, like dumper. So if a crane is lifting a heavy object and they need to be regularly serviced. So servicing of the crane, servicing of the equipment mobilized at the site, and the next servicing date on which the equipment needs to be serviced. So servicing is very, very important for construction equipment. If you are not getting your equipment and uh, equipment serviced regularly, that may cause accidents also. So regular servicing, oiling, cleaning of equipment are very, very necessary. So to ensure, and the service certificate needs to be available on construction site so that people check that okay, the equipment has been serviced regularly, and the next date of servicing should be given on the certificate so that people are sure that the equipment is working well and no accident may happen due to the malfunctioning of the equipment due to lack of service. So continuous improvement is very, very important on site, construction site safety management. So this is one of the core elements of successful safety management. The last but not least is the zero tolerance. Zero tolerance means we tolerate. So somewhere in our Indian conditions on construction site, you see that okay, we tolerate something, and tolerance means if we are tolerating something as far as safety rules are concerned, this means that we are inviting the accident. So zero tolerance should be implemented on construction site. If anything, any safety rules have not been implemented, or if any ignorance is there, there should be zero tolerance, and immediately the worker, the engineer, or the construction manager needs to follow the safety rules, or they should leave the site immediately. They should be thrown out of the site. So zero tolerance. So there should be a culture, safety culture implemented on construction site, that either you follow the safety rules or you leave the job. That should be the culture on construction site, where zero tolerance should be implemented 100% and full time as long as the construction happens. So with this, I end my lecture on construction site safety management. I hope this has been very educated for the civil engineering students all across India, from my country and the world also. So people who are students who are just graduating in civil engineering, they can learn the site safety management construction site and the computer site for working. They learn the site safety rules and they follow them as per the site safety plan. With it, I end my lecture. Thank you. So this is a background photograph of myself, Sanjeeva Narain, and one of my construction project manager on Mumbai International Airport project. My Mumbai International Airport project in 2011, when I was working in 2011